New tonight, a man in Newport News says he had to stab a dog to death after it attacked two of his dogs, then turned on him. Tonight, he's sharing his story, hoping the owner of that dog will come forward. 10 on your side's Joe Fisher shows us what happened.
Ashley Bryant says the dog came up onto his property here Saturday afternoon and attacked both of his dogs. Their injuries so severe, both of them had to be put down. Now the 82-year-old is dealing with injuries of his own. Fresh out of the hospital with a bandage on his right hand, Ashley Bryant has a fractured thumb, puncture wounds, and a bacterial infection.
Then this one, evidently, he got a hold of it.
The dog attack happened outside his home on Marshall Avenue near 17th Street in Newport News. Bryant says he was sitting on his porch with his 13-year-old Yorkie Patches and 8-year-old Maltese Sparky when a bigger dog walked up the stairs and pounced. He says first biting Patches on the neck, then Sparky on the head.
And by the time I got around over there, he had clamped his mouth on him. And he was blood everywhere and shaking him.
The 82-year-old says he grabbed a rock and started beating the dog before reaching into his pocket for his knife.
You gotta go in like that.
That's when Bryant says he was bit, but he doesn't regret stepping in.
Someone come up here and gonna do something like that, and I'm sitting here and don't do nothing? No, that's not me. I'm retired military.
20 years in the Air Force. He says Patches and Sparky were his last two companions. His wife of 42 years, Lavella, died in July. His son Kenneth now watching over his recovery at home.
We prayed the dogs would live for a couple more years, even though they were, getting up in age. But I mean, they do everything together.
He now wants to find who the dog belongs to. A dog, he says, that had no leash, no collar, and no tags.
We're not trying to sue or anything, but of course we just want their apology, to see that they show some sympathy.
Bryant says it's a lesson in dog ownership and what can happen when you don't keep a watchful eye.
If they can't take care of him until his last day, they don't need him.
And Bryant will check himself back into the hospital tonight to be treated for that bacterial infection. He's staying pretty optimistic and just hoping now that the owner of that dog comes forward. In Newport News, I'm Joe Fisher. 10 on your side.